Is he playing with the Qur'an knowingly, or is he just misquoting it, out of ignorance? But either way, it's dangerous and it's unacceptable. And the problem is that it happens way more than you could possibly imagine. The Quran isn't just a book of barakah or a book to sit on your shelf and collect dust, but rather it's a manual, it's a lifeline, it's instructions on how we are supposed to live our lives. But how are we going to live by it if we don't take the time to understand it? So I wanted to take just a minute or two of your time and explain to you the fact that we all have to understand that the Quran was not sent down simply for the scholars that are sitting in big libraries having these big discussions, but rather it was sent down for you and I. It was sent down for our families. And it was sent down for anyone that's truly trying to live the life of a Muslim in these modern day times. Unfortunately, as the brothers go away and study and they come back, and the sisters as well, because there's a lot of sisters that are doing some studying, they come back and they make it seem as though the Quran and understanding the Quran is something that's made for the scholars. So basically what we're doing is, or what we're told is, just stick to this stuff. Leave that book for them. This isn't what's said, but think about it for a minute. This is the impression that's given. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us Himself that the Quran is for everyone. Look at how in Surah Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, هذا بلاغ للناس لينذروا به. He says that this is a message that's for the people, so that they may be warned by way of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't say that it's something that's for the scholars. He doesn't say that it's something that's specifically for the elite. But He says linnas, He says for the people. You, I, our family members, being as though our spouses and our children. This is who the Quran was sent down for. So that we may all be warned by way of it. So we may all take instruction. But you have to ask yourself, how is it that we're supposed to live by way of it when we don't understand it? Now, if someone were to bring you a contract and say, listen, this is a contract between you and Fulan or this individual, but it's in another language, you don't understand it. But someone comes to you and says, listen, you know what? Sign this contract because I'm telling you it's good. You're not going to sign it. Well, I would hope. I would hope you wouldn't just pick it up and sign it without actually understanding what's in it. What are you agreeing to? What are you responsible for carrying out? Because you're all smart enough to understand that you don't want to put yourself in a situation where either you're requested to do things you don't want to do that may harm you, or you may not be able to actually physically carry out that which you're agreeing to do. But either way, you want to make sure that you understand what's going on. Why is it that we don't take this same initiative when it comes to understanding what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us? Because He told us what He wanted. This is why we need to gain a better understanding of the Qur'an and its tafsir, or its explanation. Because you have to understand that tafsir, or the explanation of the Qur'an, is that bridge that's going to allow you to stop just reciting the Qur'an and actually begin living by it, or living by way of it. Is all of that making sense? Now, the second short point that I wanted to bring up, all right? As I said, I wanted to talk about three small points. The first one we discussed. The second one we want to talk about is the fact that misunderstanding even one verse in the Qur'an can mess up your whole life, mess up huge aspects of your life. Let's keep it real. How many Muslims have fallen into confusion and misguidance because they've misinterpreted, or that ayah has been misinterpreted for them or to them? How many times have you heard people run around? Now, this is an example that none of us, I'm sure, can say that we don't know anybody that falls into this. And this is the situation of an individual that's trying to back or to justify their bad ways by saying, okay, Allah is al-Ghafur ar-Rahim. How many times have you heard this? How many times have we been taught this? Because of a misunderstanding of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about himself. This comes from misunderstanding that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down as a way of guidance, his lifeline, this manual on how we're supposed to live our lives. What about how many people they stay away from actually getting married? Because of people misquoting and misunderstanding and misinterpreting these ayat that talk about the responsibility that an individual has when they get married. And people say, okay, well, listen, I might not be able to hold up to this, so I'm just not going to worry about getting married. And look what's happening to our communities. Because of misunderstandings, miscommunications, whether it be on purpose or out of ignorance. Like I said before, it's still something that is dangerous, it's destructive, and it's unacceptable. And here's one of the ones that the sisters come up with a lot. But it happens from the sisters to the brothers as well. Individuals abusing their spouses, abusing their families, and then turning around trying to use the Qur'an as an excuse for it. Say, well, I have an ayah that says this, I have an ayah that says this. It's not about what the ayah says, it's what's meant by it. It's not about our interpretations and assumptions. It's what's actually meant, not what I believe this ayah to say. Misguidance, misuse. Misunderstanding the Qur'an, even an ayah, can be something that can wreck your life or different parts of your life. This is why we have to get into studying and taking as important, beginning to understand the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down to us as a guidance, or as guidance and as this warner. Because just like in these examples that I just gave you, you have to look. These aren't abstract ideas or concepts. These are actual things that you experience in your everyday life. How you carry yourself, how you move in life, how you treat other individuals. All of these things are tied into this guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down. We're not talking about these abstract arguments that the scholars actually sit down and they've disagreed about for generations. We're not talking about these. We're talking about everyday things for everyday people like you and I. You have people that are misunderstanding so many different aspects of their lives. How they raise their children, how they are with their spouses, even how they see themselves, what they understand about themselves and their responsibilities, or their rights and their responsibilities. A lot of this is tied into misunderstanding that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down and made easy for you to understand if you just look for it. Without proper tafsir or understanding of the Qur'an, you're going to find, and if you look, the majority of us, we've fallen into this at some point in time, if we're not still in it right now. But our deen becomes a mixture of assumptions, a mixture of culture and assumptions, obviously, and the influence of social media influencers. Now, when you look at that trifecta, you see that our deen isn't taken from any of these three things. But yet, this is where we're getting getting our deen from and basing our everything upon. Because we're not turning back to that guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to us. We're not trying to understand it because we feel as though, many of us, we've been made to feel as though it's over our heads. And I'm here to tell you it's not. I'm here to tell you that the majority of the reason why we're running into the problems that we run into is because of the fact that we're running from it. So let's stop pretending that for those of us who actually do it, because many of us don't pick up the Qur'an, even the translation, and read it. But let's stop pretending for those of us that pick up the translation. Let's stop pretending and saying, okay, well, listen, we're actually doing enough. And let's start trying to gain an understanding of what it is that we're reading. And we're only going to gain a true understanding of this by taking some time out to learn the true tafsir, or the explanation for that which Allah has revealed. Now, the third point that I want to talk about is going to bring it all home for you. This is the fact that it's not expected that you're going to become a scholar. Not everyone's going to become a scholar. Most people aren't going to become scholars. So, what's going to come to your mind is, okay, well, Abdul-Lateef, what do I do? If I'm not going to become a scholar, how am I going to gain an understanding of the Book of Allah? Because you're telling me that this is where I'm going to find my answers. Am I just stuck? What I'm telling you is, no, you're not stuck. The answer is so simple. So simple. I'm telling you, many of you realize you're stuck. Some of you don't realize it, but if you actually sit down and think about it, you're going to realize that you are. The answer to getting out of being stuck is simple. And here it is. You have to start with a simple study of tafsir. Simple. Now listen, I'm giving you the answers. I'm giving you game right here. So pay attention. You have to start with a simple study of tafsir, like I just said. Something is built for someone just like you. The working Muslim, the parent, the spouse, the young adult that's just trying to keep their head above water and keep afloat in this modern day society. Believe me, they're out there. Don't get lost in what you hear a lot of the brothers running around talking about, Tafsir ibn Kathir and Tafsir al-Qurtubi and Tafsir al-Tabari and Ruh al-Ma'ani and all of these different books of tafsir. These are books that are made for the scholars. I'm talking about something that's for you. Because you don't have to understand every single verse that's in there, every single word that's in there. You just have to learn the explanation of these verses that teach you how you're supposed to live your life, how you're supposed to run your family, how you're supposed to run your household, how you're supposed to be as an employer or an employee, how you're supposed to be as a member of the community, how you're supposed to see yourself and how you're supposed to treat others. These are simple matters. These are matters that deal with your everyday life. As I said before, we're not talking about those abstract ideas and concepts and principles. We're talking about what you need in your everyday life from the time you get up until the time you go to sleep. The answers to all of those things are right there in that book. Now, I do want you to understand that you don't have to do this alone, and this is the point that a lot of people miss. There are a lot of other people out there, especially those of you who see this video. You see that what I'm telling you is correct. Not all of you are going to act on it, but there are quite a few of you that will. If you're interested in working on these types of things together and sharing notes and having and furthering discussions, leave a message in the comment section. There's a whole community of people just like you. They're waiting to reach out, and they're waiting for you to reach out. I'm giving you the opportunity. So as I said, I want to hear from you in the comment section. I want you to share your ideas and your thoughts on what it is that I just told you. Because I'm hoping that this is going to open your eyes up, and it's going to open the eyes of those people that you're going to share this video with, so that we can start getting ourselves, our families, and our communities back on track, and stop falling into this pit hole that we keep falling into over and over and over and over again. There are certain ayat that we've all read that somebody may have even brought to us. And then we turn around and we say, okay, well, listen, I'm really not sure that's what it means, but we feel shy because it's an ayah, so we say, we're just going to rock out with it. Write for us one of those ayats in the comment section. One of a couple of different things may happen. Either someone might know where you can actually find the true understanding of what's meant in this ayah. And like I said, I'm not talking about these abstract ideas. I'm talking about our everyday lives. Or if it's something that maybe as I have time when I make these videos, I may be able to deal with a couple of these. Or as you all know, there are some other students from Azhar University that come through my channel as well. And there are a couple of the brothers that Tafsir is their thing. They may be willing to give a small explanation of these things, but we need to lay out for people what it is that we need to know. So write it down in there. Many of us have been through situations where we realize that we're on something. We are on it. And then later on down the line, we realize, listen, that's not what that meant. Write one of those ayahs in the comment section. Because again, we're not here to judge one another. We're here to learn with and from one another. Because Allah might have showed you that you were wrong, but another individual might still be on that. So what you'd be doing in the bigger scope of things is opening people's eyes to things. So share some of these ayat that you were given or you may have understood incorrectly. And then found out, okay, well, this isn't actually what this is about, or how this is even applied, or this isn't even applied in our day and time. There are lots of these different types of ayat. Because again, we're not getting the tafsir for these ayat, we're getting assumptions, our own assumptions, built off of ignorance. Or something that's built off, an explanation is built off of our culture. Or something we heard from a social media influencer that this isn't even their realm or their field. So we have an opportunity to be able to grow, correct, and live in a situation where we're with a community of people that are trying to move in the direction we're trying to move in. So don't be shy. Leave your comments in the comment section. Join in on the discussion for those of you who may not have a verse to put in there or a story to tell. Join in on the conversation so that we can all get this, as they used to say back in the day, get the party started right. Based upon knowledge, based upon understanding. Because this is what's important. And I do want to mention one more thing to you. I'm going to let y'all go because I told you I only wanted a couple of minutes of y'all time. But I do need to tell you something. If you're somebody that's out there looking for clarity and you're looking to grow, I'm inviting you. Me personally, I'm inviting you to join us in the Patreon. We have a group that's up and growing, up and moving. It's called Next Level Muslims. You're going to find the link to it in the description with all of the rest of the videos. This is for a community of people that are serious about, and listen, you hear the title. It's Next Level Muslims. We're not a bunch of people that are about just scrolling and wasting time and gossiping and this, that, and other. We're talking about real growth for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to be able to be educated in those things that we actually need, that we practice, and we need every day. We're trying to move ourselves forward and our communities forward. So if, and only if you're serious about doing these things, if you want to play and scroll and all the rest of that stuff, stay on Facebook and Instagram and all the rest of that. TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it is. But if you're looking for real growth, then we welcome you with open arms. All right? So the link for that is in the description as usual. I hope to see you inside. So, again, make sure you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other further discussions. Make sure that you share the video and leave your comments in the comment section. As well as for those of you, again, I'm telling you, who are serious, only those who are serious. Make sure that you join us in the Next Level Muslims on the Patreon. And we'll see you in the next video. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Again, y'all know I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all support and all of the rest of that. And like I said, I'll see you in the next video. Jazakumullahu khair wa barakallahu fikum.